Hey guys, welcome to Outlaw Edge. It's a Sunday morning. I'm loaded down. I have my pack completely packed out. It's crazy heavy. It's about 30 pounds. I mean, that's a lot, you know, to hike out in the snow and whatever in the woods. And usually I only carry it, I try to keep it around 8 to 12. But I have my dog with me out here running around. Cold cherry Pepsi, sitting in the snow. I had to stop and take a break, starting to sweat like crazy. It's 40 degrees out here right now, and I figured I'd take you guys on a hike with me. And the chunks of snow keep falling out of the tree because everything's starting to melt. Whew, man. A few minutes and it's already like kicking my butt. But I think what I'll do is I'll hike a little bit more, and then when I get close to my spot, I'll kind of show you where my spot is or whatever that I'm going to. Ready, Lily? Almost to my spot. But I'll film a little bit as I'm hiking, and you're gonna hear the camera getting hit by the branches and stuff, but not much I could do about that. Snow's pretty deep. Should have brought snowshoes, but I didn't really feel like messing with them today. I'd rather get a little extra exercise without the snowshoes by tromping through the snow. It's got to be about a foot deep in some parts, you know. It's beautiful out here today. It's nice and warm. I mean, as long as you stay moving around. I'm gonna get out here and make a fire at my spot. Got the sunset and everything. It's nice. Or sunrise. I got branches stuck all over me. I'm gonna get closer to my spot and get a fire set up. Lily, come here. Lily, come on. She's tripping out because a car just went by, and where I'm at, cars hardly ever go down this road. Lily, come here, look, right here. Come here, look. Or I should say they hardly go down this road in the wintertime. Oh, I'm busting my ass right there. So here's my camp spot. I set this up years ago, and I put my tarp over the top of that, and then I have a little seat that I sit on that I keep in my pack. And you can see what I got in my pack today. I have all my extra wood sitting over here. It's nice and dry. It stays like that all winter long. And this is the hatchet that Jay tricked out for me from Jay and Melinda. Thanks, you guys. And I got my canteen, and then my pack is just packed full of stuff. I got some lunch and have my soda sitting in the snow right here. A tripod, and I'm gonna get my camp all set up and get a fire going. And I think what I'm gonna do is, like, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just haven't had time to do it lately. I used to set up my tarp here going that way, but I'm gonna set it up here going this way because the wind always comes right into my tarp and blows the smoke in my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that stuff cleared out and get it the way I want, get it set up and go from there. So this is what I have. I brought some snacks out here in case I get hungry. I'm starting to get really hungry right now. I've got some hot dogs right here, some cheddar brats or whatever they are. I'm gonna check out some different knives and stuff. Jay gave me this knife here. It's a Schrade. But I have my gloves and I keep them in the pack, keep them dry. And then in the back right here, I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but there's a styrofoam pad. And I keep that for the snow. That way if you have to kneel down, you don't get your knees all wet and then you start shivering, getting cold or whatever. But this is my simple setup. I've had this for about 25 years now. And I bought this at Harbor Freight years ago. It's just a cheap, crappy tarp, and I think it is 12 by 10 by 12 or 12 by 12, something like that. It's just a small tarp, and I put Ranger bands, bicycle inner tubes on here just to wrap it up, throw it in my pack, and then I'm about ready to get another roll of string because I've used it all up. But this is just a regular like construction string. Concrete guys use this a lot, kite string, whatever you want to call it. There's all kinds of different names for it, but I like bright colors. That way if I drop this in the snow I can see it. The reason I carry the camouflage tarp as a lot of times if I want to just be by myself out in the woods and nobody bothering me, the spots I go, I don't have a crazy bright tarp sitting out there, you know. But I would like to get one of those waterproof bright ass orange ones with the silver on the bottom of them. That way, you know, in the wintertime, if there's an emergency, you can use it for not only shelter, but you can use it to keep yourself warm and wrap up with it or signal. So that's kind of a dumb thing to do if you're going to use, you know, camouflage. And you know, I use a camouflage pack too, but you know, if you're hiking out in the woods, and you should have something bright on you at all times. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tarp set up, drop it down here, and I'll show you what I got set up. I think if I could give you any bushcraft tips, you know, anytime you're out in the woods and you're using your knife, you want to always keep it next to you. And what I do is I always, no matter what, as soon as I cut something, I'll stick it right next to me so I can see it right where it's at in front of me. And then as soon as I'm done tying a knot or something, I'll take and grab it and put it in my pocket. I've always been taught, you know, lose your knife, lose your life. You know, it's kind of a good deal to remember. So I'll go ahead and get that put in my pocket. But one of the other things is like a nice little bushcraft tip is if you have your ranger bands that you use like on your survival kits or your packs or whatever, so you don't lose them, just take and run a stick through them on one of your straps on your pack. That way they stay right there with your pack. You don't end up losing those, because it's kind of a pain in the neck, you know, to wrap your stuff up when you don't have those. So I got my fire lay all set up. I got some sticks down on the ground and I got everything ready. So I'll go ahead and get my fire started. I'm gonna grab that last piece of birch up here. And then what I'll do is I have my fire all set up right here. And I'll go ahead and take my knife and my fire steel, and I'm gonna scratch a small amount. That way I can get the fire going. Just scratch a small pile of birch dust so that you can get the fire started. And it's starting to get cold out here, so that wind is kind of kicking up a little bit, so I want to go ahead and get the fire going pretty good. So and it's kind of wise if you're out in the woods to not use the same material all the time, you know, to practice with different skills and practice with different style material, like natural materials and synthetic man-made materials. Kind of a good idea to do that. That way you're not stuck to one thing and you get used to how different things work when you're out in the woods. And right here I got my fire steel on my neck, so I'll kind of show you what I got going on here. I got this fire steel on my neck, and then I got a fire striker, and then my Mora Eldris, and it's in a Kydex sheath. Lily, my dog took off on me. She's running around chasing something. So I'll go ahead and get the fire started with those. And this is to light my fire steel. Lily, come on. And what I do is I push down on the pile and use the fire steel to get the fire started by pushing the sparks into the fire. And watch out, you're right on way, dummy. Come on, watch out. Now see, my dog just stopped me from what I was doing. I got one spark lit, and there we go. And this birch bark takes off like gas. So I'll go ahead and get some of this stuff close to it and get the fire started. And then I got to tend to the fire. I'll get this going really good, and I'll show you what I got going on later. Well, we have our cheddar brats. We're going to go ahead and cook those up. And if you haven't seen one of these, Heidi got me this a while back, and you can buy these on Amazon and eBay and whatever. These are just fold up backpacking style seats or chairs, and these are super cool. All you do is flip them open. Super handy. Click them together, you got yourself a seat. Now your butt doesn't get wet out in the woods. Hey, thanks for joining us. You want a hot dog? Huh? You didn't ask. Sit down. Sit. You gotta ask. You can tell me or no? Huh? I guess you ain't getting one. You can tell me? Speak. Can you say yes? Yes? What? You gotta say it so that the camera can hear you. Say yes. Yes. All right. No. Okay. There you go. Good girl. Well, get it. You dropped your hot dog here. Come over here. Come here. Right there. There you go. Ah, this is awesome. So pretty out here today. You see I got my shelter set up back here, keeping the wind off my back. It's not blowing in our face. Smoke's not blowing in our face anymore. The seat helps a lot. You can sit here and relax and not have your butt soaking wet. Usually I bring a serape out here, fold it in half. That way she has a spot to sit, but it's not cold enough for her to get frostbite or nothing on her feet. But breeze is starting to kick up a little bit. The sun's gonna be going down pretty soon. It's like, I don't know, 1 or 2 right now, but I mean, it'll be at 4 o'clock, it'll be starting to get real cold when the sun starts dropping. I'll just keep the fire going and sit out here until it gets dark. Super nice. Anyways, thanks for watching. Wish you guys a Merry Christmas.